Dear student, welcome to our second class of international relation. Already we have completed the first class. You can watch that video and then you can watch this video. And I have gone through all the important documents that is available in the market, and I've collected all this document, and I've also added something that is relevant for your examination. So if you are watching this video and referring to this PDF, then no need to go anywhere. It is my guarantee you'll get all question either from here or no one able to solve it. So please watch this video and read this document very carefully, and I'm going to highlight from this document where you have to give more emphasis. There can be possible question in your UPSC prelims. So let's see. So we are going to see few topics. So first one is about the India and Shanghai Cooperation Organization, that is called SCO. So why it is a news? So recently our defense minister refused to sign Shanghai Cooperation Organization joint declaration because why we have not signed that? So there is a double standard on the terrorism. So the document ignored the Pahalgam terror attack. So Pahalgam terror attack happened in India. So China and Pakistan, they have nexus. So they ignore the Pahalgam attack while incorporate Baluchistan attack or terrorist attack in the Baluchistan. So that is what clearly depicting that double standards. While they are ignoring terror attack in India, they are no including terror attack in the Pakistan. So reflecting selective concern over the terrorism. So India's standard is that there should not be any good terrorist, bad terrorist. Terrorist should be treated as a terrorist. The next is non-negotiable core principle. Or India always, or talk about we need to take all actions to prevent the terrorism. There should not be any good terrorism that is being supported by one country or bad terrorism. So India reiterated that peace and terrorism cannot coexist. A principle it uphold firmly in all multilateral agreements. For example, India always say that whether whoever may be the person, if that person is involved in terrorist, they should be punished. So, but some state like Pakistan, they involved in the terrorism. So they fund the terrorism, they sponsor the terrorism. So that is what called double standards. So India's strategic opportunity within the SEO framework. So what are the opportunities that we can reap by involving in the SEO? So first one is about the Central Asia outreach. So I think you already know in Central Asia, there are 5 countries. So we can have outreach there, we can interact with them, we can maintain good relationship, and these countries are very important for us, for our energy security, for our diaspora, for countering terrorism, so a lot of things. So strengthening ties with the Central Asian region align with Connect Central Asia policy. So it is our government policy of connecting Central Asia. If we can connect the Central Asia, so that can give boost to our goodwill, give boost to our tourism, give boost to our trade. Okay. So next is energy security. So if you look into the Central Asian region, so they are rich in terms of energy. For example, Turkmenistan is rich in terms of gas and uranium in Kazakhstan. So if we have good relation, we can have access to the nuclear energy, then gas, so that we can meet our energy requirements. So next is connectivity boost. So we are planning to have good connectivity in the Central Asian region so that we can have good trade relation, we can have good people to people relation, we can have good support in the international level. For that, we are supporting international north-south transport corridor. So this is starting from India, this international north-south transport corridor, India, then Iran. From Iran, we are connecting to all Central Asian countries. So this question already asked in UPSC prelims this year. So international north-south transport corridor. They go in UPSC, they are going to ask question from here only. So you have to do this value addition. So you can just open a map of international north-south corridor. You can have the look of from where international north-south corridor is in starting and where it is reaching. Okay? By doing that, you can have a lot of clarity of your concept and you will be able to correct the answer. So diplomatic channel. So it also open up a diplomatic channel to engage with the China and Pakistan. I think already know Pakistan, we don't have any relation, but by having the summit levels, there might be some interaction. So that can be a back channel diplomacy or a starting point of having good relation also. So what are the India's concern regarding SEO? So though we are member, but there are a lot of concern in that India is facing in the SEO. So what are that? First one is about the China dominance. So this organization is dominated by the China. So China attempt to steer the SEO main agenda to fulfill its goal. For example, China is pushing the BRI, China is pushing its economy by using the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So if China is dominating, so that is against the interest of India, because we believe in multilateralism. That means not a single country dominate the international level. So next is expansion challenges. So new member like recently SCO is expanded to include new members like Belarus. So Belarus is not a Asian country, it's a European country. So that is what led to the dilute the Central Asian focus. So the SCO basically created with the Asia and Central Asia focus. If you add member outside the Central Asian region, so that is dilate the core objective na. So next is weak implementation. So anything, whatever decision we have taken, if there is no proper implementation, then it is not going to have any outcome. So lack executive authority and remain mostly declarative. So whatever not decision we have taken, it is not able to implement it. So next is anti-West image. So with the joining of Iran, now it is having Russia, China, Iran. So West considered this as an anti-West initiative. So which is very, because we are having good relation with the European Union, we are having good relation with the USA. They perceive it as an anti-West. So it is very difficult for India to negotiate with both West and SU. So next, how India balance strategic autonomy with mutual engagement. While on the one hand, India has to maintain its own autonomy. We have to take decision on the merit of Indian benefit. On the other hand, we have to engage in the multilateral level. So first one is about the national interest first. So whenever it comes to the any international relation, we have to prioritize our national interest. So oppose the China's BRI. So we can oppose the China BRI. I think all forum we are opposing. We are not part of that. So next is principal participation. So we have to participate on the initiative that is in sync with our principle. For example, regional anti-terror structure. So it is in sync of eliminating the terrorism. So active in regional anti-terror structure. So next is developmental focus. So we can focus on the development, people to people contact that can bring about goodwill. For example, SEO subgroup and cooperation in traditional medicine and startups and innovation that can help to promote Indian economy, goodwill, okay, a soft power. So next is leveraging close relationship with Russia. So we are having very special relation with Russia, so we can leverage that to prevent any action or any initiative by the China to have hegemony in the SEO. So next is, if you look into the role of SEO in reshaping global multilateral order, you'll find that the strategic presence, it cover 80% of the Eurasia, 42% of the global population, and it contribute 25% of the global GDP. Then challenging West, so it is emerging alternative to the West-led forum. For example, West-led forum like World Bank, IMF, UNSC. So these are dominated by the Western countries. So they are having hegemony. So SEO can challenge that and bring about reform of this international order. So next is security role, formed the Afghanistan contact group in 2005 to engage in the Afghanistan. So in 2005, so it engaged in Afghanistan to decide the future of Afghanistan. So these are the significance of SEO. So in mains, you can write about significance, or in prelims, they can pick one statement and they can say about, for example, SEO organization contribute around 50% of the global GDP. No, it's 25%. Okay, chaliye. So next we are going to see some important aspect about this SEO. So this can be a very good question. Like in a prelims, they can ask about consider the following statement regarding SEO. So Shanghai Cooperation Organization established in 2001. So this is just have some idea. So it's a Eurasia political, economic, and security alliance that evolved from Shanghai Five. So this can be a statement. So this is evolved from the Shanghai Five. Main focus on the Eurasia, polity, economy, and security alliances. So member state are 10. It can be categorized into, first one is about the founding member, those who have established the SEO. So they are China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. But Turkmenistan is not there. Just remember, one Central Asian country, it is not member of this SEO. It is Turkmenistan. Rest all are member. So this can be a very good question. So a later member, India, Pakistan, Iran, and Belarus. So this can be a very good question. Which country recently joined the SEO? So it is Belarus. So SEO partner. So recently SEO merged. SEO is having two category. Earlier it used to be two category. One is observer states, dialogue partner. But now they have merged both to create SEO partner. And which country recently added? It is Laos. Okay, so Laos, tell me in the comment box. Laos belongs to an organization of 10 countries. What is the name of that organization? Let me see how many of you know that. And please make this session very interactive. It is not like I'm just keep on teaching and you are just keep on listening. No, you have to put your effort also. Whatever question I'm giving, please write in the comment box so that I can have idea what's going on. So next is core objective. So what are the core objective of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization? So SEO operate on the Shanghai spirit. So what are the spirit? Mutual trust, equality, respect for the cultural diversity. Its primary goal includes security. So to combat three evils, this can be a very good question. Na? So SEO basically talks about combating three evils. What are they? Terrorism, separatism, and extremism. So economic cooperation, enhancing trade, energy, infrastructure, and partnership. Then global stability, supporting more balanced multipolar international order. Okay, so these are the core objectives. They can pick one or two statement and consider which of the following are core objective of SEO. They can ask it. So key structure, how it is operating. So head of the state council. So these are the head decision making body, supreme decision making body that meet annually. So head of the state, like our prime minister, then president of Russia. So they meet together and take decision. Next is secretariat. So secretariat located in Beijing. So you have to remember that secretariat located in Beijing. Then regional anti-terror structure. So it is having headquarter in Tashkent. Okay, so you have to remember that also. So official languages Chinese and Russian. So these three can be a factual question. They can ask about a regional anti-terror structure. Headquarter is located in Beijing. They can say about the headquarter of SEO is located in Shanghai. So this kind of question can ask to confuse you. And the official language of SEO is Chinese, Russian, and Indian. No, Hindi. This can be a question or English. They can tweak and to make you confused. So please read it very carefully so that you can able to solve it. So dear student, if you are able to understand everything, that is well and good. If you are not able to understand, let me know in the comment box. So accordingly, I'll modify my content and way of delivering the classes. ठीक है. So your feedback is utmost important. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is China led trilateral nexus. So recently what China is doing, China is encircling India. So already there is a initiative China. It's called Belt and Road. It's called Sting of Pulse. Through that it is constructing number of ports in different to encircle India. And on the top of it, now it is initiating trilateral initiative in two sides. One is about China, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Now it is constructing China, Pak, Bangladesh. It is trying to encircle India by having multiple alliances and entering into the India's backyard. So first one is China, Pakistan, and Bangladesh recently held their first ever trilateral meeting on the sideline of 6th China South Asia Cooperation Forum. Okay, so more about the news. So China, this is the second trilateral initiative in India immediate neighborhood following similar engagement with Pakistan and Afghanistan. Already they are having one agreement with China, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Now they're expanding it China, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. That is, it's encircling on the top of the India. So multiple analysis points towards emergence of strategic nexus involving China, Turkey, and Pakistan. So this is what we have seen recently. Pahalgam crisis. We have seen how they are coordinatedly, actingly, and China is providing intelligence, Turkey is providing military hardware, and Pakistan is attacking by through the drones to India. So we have to calculate that. So this engagement challenges India's traditional influence as China create arc of strategic influence from Afghanistan to Bay of Bengal. So all this neighbor country of India. So we are historically having good influence. It is our sphere of influence, but traditional or generally or nowadays what happening, China is replacing Indian influence with Chinese influence. So that is what creating tension or creating nerve, or we need to be very careful about that. So rising China influence in South Asia. So how Pakistan depends on the China for majority of the defense import, like for example fighter jet or the air defense system, they rely completely on the China. So next is Maldives. So Maldives friendship bridge and housing project. China follow checkbook diplomacy. They provide huge amount of funding to all this country to gain strategic access to all these infrastructure project. For example, in Sri Lanka, they have funded the Hambantota port, and later on they have took it lease for 99 year. So next is in Bangladesh, China, Bangladesh biggest defense supplier also. So now current government of Bangladesh, they are more tilting towards China. They have having good relation with the China. In Nepal also, Pokhara International Airport and proposed Trans-Himalayan connectivity project within. For example, if this is India, this is Nepal. So they are proposing Trans-Himalaya highway with China. They want to reduce dependence on India to have direct access to the China. So these are actually the inroad, deep inroad that is being made by the China in our neighborhood. So that is what creating now in the India. So next we are going to see why. What are the factor for Chinese increasing Chinese influence in our neighborhood? So first one is about the historical factor. Both Pakistan and China share long-standing border dispute with India. Yes, so they both China and Pakistan they are having border dispute. So that is what led to the cementing of their relationship. Next is China assertive regional policy. Yes, China is quite active in our Indians neighborhood policy, and they are provide huge amount of funding. For example, BRI Belt and Road Initiative, then China Pakistan Economic Corridor. They are also funding a lot of port project in Indian Ocean under the String of Pearls. So actively expanding geopolitical footprint in South Asia to achieve regional dominance. Then strategic balance against India. So country like Bangladesh leverage its try to with China to counter India's regional influence. So a small country like Bangladesh, they are fearful of India. So they want China to involve in their developmental project to counter the India's influence. Okay. So next is infrastructure diplomacy. This is what called checkbook diplomacy. China offering faster and larger infrastructure funding to Indian neighbor. These are very poor countries. So all our neighbor are poor countries. They need infrastructure. They need money. So if China is providing them money, so they are adopting policy in favor of China. So next is concern or implication for India rising China influence. So if China's influence is increasing in our neighborhood, so what kind of implication we are having? So first one is about the geostrategic encirclement. Yes, so China has already established a presence at the strategic port like string of pearls strategy. So by having that, by China is establishing a lot of ports here, Bangladesh, then Sri Lanka, Maldives, then Pakistan, then so that it is encircling in India. So that might impact our economic growth development in future. So we are going to see about the string of pearls map. So have little bit of time. Give me a little bit of time. So undermining Indian-led regional platforms. So this could undermine influence of Indian backing groups such as BIMSTEC. If there is more Chinese involvement, new group is formed. So that is what weaken our initiative. For example, BIMSTEC, Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical Cooperation, that might be weakened. So diminishing regional influence. So Bangladesh expressed interest to involve China in this Tista River project. So if our neighbor country involve other countries, so that is what led to the reduced Indian influence. So if India is not a superpower in our regional grouping, so we cannot be a superpower at the international level. So to be a superpower, we need to have good relation, good influence in our neighbor. So if we have good relations, so our trade will be flourish, so our economy will be flourish, we can be a superpower. But China know that, and it is creating trouble in our neighborhood. So next is Indian Connectivity Initiative. For example, BRI project, Belt and Road Initiative project. So they provide huge amount of funding to all our neighborhood. So that is what led to the weakening of the BBIN. Bhutan, Bharat, Bhutan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal. So this is a connectivity project among these four countries. We are initiated this connectivity to ensure seamless flow of the goods, people, and cargo. But if there is alternative funding available, so that might weaken Indian-led connectivity initiative. So if all these problems we are facing, then what kind of steps we have taken to counter that? So first one is about the counterbalance this. To counterbalance that, we have creating strategic partnership. For example, with Japan and USA through QUAD, okay, quadrilateral security agreement. So we are also providing alternative funding. We are also providing developmental assistance to all these neighbor countries so that they will not fall prey to this Chinese trap. So next is implementation of developmental project. Set up dedicated ME Ministry of External Affairs sales for coordinating project with neighbors. So we can set up dedicated sales so that they ensure faster delivery of the project. So developmental fund. So we can establish regional developmental fund for connectivity infrastructure under the BIMSTEC. So that fund can be used for development of the infrastructure. So engagement through the RIC. So like Russia, India, and China. So revive the RIC, Russia, India, China framework with China and Russia initiated in late 90s. So if we are having good relation with Russia, China, India, so that means if we are together, so we can ignore all these things. And if first of all, if we are having good relation with the China, so everything will go on. So that is what we can explore. If China is in a good mood, so that is what going to be helpful. Okay, dear student. So hope this topics is helpful and you are able to understand. So dear student, please let me know in your comment box if you are able to understand, and if you are not able to understand, please let me know and give me your feedback what kind of methods or what things you need. So I'll definitely incorporate that. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं next topic. So China's hydropower project on the Brahmaputra river. So recently China is building a huge dam. So project is 135 billion dam on the Brahmaputra river. So this is world largest dam. So China is begun building Medong mega dam on Yalong Sangpo, or that is what called Brahmaputra in the Tibet. So if you look into this size, so it is 3 times the size of the Three Gorge Dam. Three Gorge Dam is world largest. Okay. So more on the news. So beside power, it aimed to industrialize the Tibet. So China claimed that it is going to helpful for generating power and industrialize the Tibet. So China call it a renewable energy project and economic boost for Tibet, supporting carbon neutrality by 26. So China is promising to have carbon neutrality by 2060. So they are saying that it is helpful in achieving that. So about the Medong hydro project, so scale and capacity, it will surpass the Three Gorge Dam, so it is world largest dam, generating 3 times more energy. So location, it is the great band of the Yalong Sangpo. This is what called this is the river, same river as our Brahmaputra. This is called Yalong Sangpo in the Tibet, near Arunachal Pradesh border. So project design, it's a runoff river project with 5 cascade plant diverting half of the river flow. So if you are constructing dam on the higher ridge, let's say this is the river and it is entering India. If you are constructing dam, so later on China can divert that water for the use. Na? So it is given the map. So here they are planning to develop the dam. Okay? Yes, Hedong Dam. This here it is. They are proposed to start this dam. Okay? You can see the map, Brahmaputra river. It is called Yalung Sangpo. It is moving in this direction. Then it is entering India. Chali. So if this project is, they constructed, then what kind of concern it is creating? So key concern of the project. So geopolitical concern. So water flow disrupt, threaten the northeast agriculture, food security, and hydro projects. So I think if you analyze the northeastern states, so they are water rich states. So because a lot of water were received from the Brahmaputra river. So if China is constructing dam and obstructing flow of water, so that can create security concern also. And China can capitalize that during war or something. They can open the dam to create flooding in the northeast to cause havoc. Same thing happened in 2000 Siang River disaster. So security risk as potential water weapon in the conflict. So they can open the dam, so led to the flash flood. So we have to divert our army to protect our people. So in this way, without firing a bullet, China can win the war also. So next is water resource competition. So Brahmaputra faces contest, among the China, India, Bangladesh. So 3 countries. So that is what led to the further, water war or conflict. So it is said that in future, war is going to happen because of water only. Okay? So environmental impact. So sediment flow disrupt. Definitely, if we are constructing heavy dams, so sediment will not flow to the down reach. Then it will impact our Sundarban, it will impact our fishing, it will impact our the ecosystem also. Threaten 218 fish species, including Hilsa, Mashir, and risking 2 million livelihoods. So these people are those people on the lower reach. The defense on the fish, they are going to impact it. Okay. So next is disaster vulnerability. So this dam is located on the earthquake zone 5. Just imagine if in case of any earthquake, dam burst, so entire lower reach will be wiped out. So that is what create threat. So 7.5 earthquake in Tibet highlighting dam failure risk. So if anything something happen, dam will be collapse or dam is collapse. So because of that, huge amount of water will flow and everything on this way it's wash away. So that is what the concern we have to be careful of. So existing river water cooperation mechanism between India and China. So what are the different cooperative mechanism that currently exist? We are going to see. So expert level mechanism. So annual talks on the flood data and emergencies and transporter river issue. So with the China, we don't have any river, agreement. Just like in the with the Pakistan, we are having Indus Water Treaty. With Bangladesh, we are also having Conga Treaty. But there is no treaty that is existing between India and China. So only we are having export level mechanism. So next is Brahmaputra data sharing between June to October, but it is expired in 2000. So Satluj water sharing also June to October, but it is also expired in 2020. So umbrella MOU, memorandum of understanding, extending data sharing March 15 to October 15, broadening the cooperation. So there are few cooperative agreement was there and currently some of them, so that China can share the water data with India, so that we can understand whether flooding is coming or not, helpful for mitigation of the flood. So if this kind of problem, if China is unilaterally constructing dam without looking or without uh, looking into our what are the concern we are expressing, then we have to take some steps. So that is what called way forward or India's potential response. So we can start strategic counterbalancing. For example, the plans Siang Upper Multi-Purpose Hydropower Project in Arunachal Pradesh proposed by the Niti Aayog. So we can start constructing Siang Upper Hydropower Project. Okay. So this is one plan. Second one is transparency demand. So we can create at the international level a demand for transparency of all the hydro project. So demand full disclosure of technical, environmental, and seismic plan. Press for suspension until resolved. So next is a regional coalition. So we can create a regional coalition of country that is what impacted by this decision under UN Water Convention with data sharing and joint assessment. So this is very important. So UN Convention on UN Water Convention with data sharing and joint assessment. So we can use these conventions to bring all these countries, those are impacted by this unilateral action of the China, to form a coalition. So next is a transboundary cooperation. So we can use the China Kazakhstan agreement on the transboundary cooperations to protect India's core riparian right. You know, riparian means, for example, this is the Brahmaputra. It is flowing from the here and it is entering India. So it is upper riparian. China is upper riparian. India is lower riparian. So we need to involve all the riparian state so that they can jointly manage the river. So water security framework. So consider South Asia water NATO for Brahmaputra, Indus, Ganga to ensure data transparency, dispute resolution, and disaster readiness using Nile Basin or Mekong model. So we can create a cooperative framework where all countries they can come together and discuss, debate to find solutions to this problem. Okay, so this is too idealistic, I know, but we can explore that also. Hope, dear student, you are able to understand. So from here they can ask about Medong project is being recently proposed in which river. So which currently which dam is, which hydropower project is largest. So this kind of question they can ask about. They can ask about we have water share agreement or with the China. No, we don't have any water share agreement with China. So or they can ask about origin of Brahmaputra also. Brahmaputra enter India at the which state at left bank tributary, right bank tributary. From here they can inspire and ask a lot of questions. So it is your homework to practice all these things. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is India strategy in Indian Ocean. So I think only ocean, that is Indian Ocean, it is named after a country. So it is very important for India, and India is the central to this Indian Ocean. So that is what very important for India. So why it is a news? So Parliamentary Committee on External Affairs table a report on Lok Sabha on evaluation of India's Indian Ocean strategy. So being a leader in the Indian Ocean, being a central part of the Indian Ocean. So what are the strategy we need so that India can be a leader in the Indian Ocean? So why Indian Ocean matter to India? Because one third of the global population resides in the Indian Oceans, or they are literal to the Indian Ocean. So vital trade hub, 2/3 of the global oil shipment passes through the Indian Ocean. So 90% of India's lifeline, or 90% of the volume of the trade or oil are passing through this Indian Ocean. So India is having 2.4 million square kilometer of exclusive economic zone. So that is what led to the Indian Ocean is very important for us. So what are the strategy that is being followed? So if Indian Ocean is very important for us, definitely we have prepared some strategy and we are going to see what are the strategy. So first one is about the policy. So we have launched a lot of policy. So for example, neighborhood fast policy. So we are giving more priority to our neighborhood. So whenever they are facing problem, we are reaching out to them. During COVID-19, we have provided vaccine. During any water crisis, for example, in Maldives, we have provided water. Okay. So Sagar. So we have also launched the Sagar. What is the full form of Sagar? Security and growth for all in the region. Also, Mahasagar doctrine recently launched to ensure all countries should be seeing growth in a sync way and provide security. We are going to see about Mahasagar. Don't worry. India is a net security provider in the Indian Ocean region because we are having huge navy, powerful navy, blue water navy. So we can reach every region of the Indian Ocean. So we are countering piracy, illegal, unregulated, unreported fishing, maritime terrorism control, then exclusive economic zone surveillance, and we are also having information fusion center in Indian Ocean region. So all the shipping data, if a ship enter Indian Ocean anywhere, let's say this is India, and if a ship enter here or here, we are collecting all this data and processing it so that we can identify where the ship is moving from which locations to which locations. So that is what going to give you real-time information about what activities going on in the Indian Ocean region. So engagement with the littoral state. So we are engaging with all the littoral states. For example, Mauritius, Maldives. We are going to see that in map. Sri Lanka, Seychelles, where developmental art. So we are providing developmental art. Like for example, we are providing them with the ship, coastal vessel. We are providing them with faster patrolling vessels. Then we are providing with the Dornier aircraft, helicopter. We are training them. We are providing education. Then HADR, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. Anything, anywhere in the Indian Ocean, if any disaster, India is the first responder. We are helping them during the time of crisis. We are helping build of their defense capacity building. So regional leadership. So India is leadership on Indian Ocean Regional Association and Indian Ocean Commission, other multilateral forum. So infrastructure connectivity. So we are also connecting a lot of infrastructure project. So Chawar project we have connected in Iran. We are going to see it, don't worry. So Sri Lanka, in Sri Lanka, we are also developing ports, Mauritius, Seychelles, so under Sagarmala too. So humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. So whenever any crisis happen, it is the India who is the first responder. So reliable first responder. For example, Operation Sadbhavana during Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam after Typhoon Yogi. So this is what we can say. India is a reliable HADR partner. So what is Mahasagar? So let's see. I've written it for you. So Mahasagar is an Indian Navy outreach initiative. It stands for Maritime Holistic Advancement for Security and Growth all in region. It serves as a high level virtual connection between India and littoral nation in Indian Ocean regions to promote collective security and cooperation. So it is basically aims to connect all this country to ensure that there should be a secure, prosperous, and economic growth of all this region. So what are the objective? Let's see. So it is basically focusing on the maritime leadership, promote India's leadership in Indian Ocean region as a net security provider and fast responder. So anything happen, anything, let's say terrorism, piracy. So India is a responder, fast responder, and security provider. So next is maritime capability by expanding scope of engagement and other activity, promote India's engagement and activity in the Indian Ocean region. Global South strengthen the maritime security ties with Global South beyond Indian Ocean region. So it also promote beyond Indian Ocean region also. Operational effectiveness, enhance effectiveness via joint training, best practices and advanced technology. Okay, so we are increasing our operational efficiency also. So maritime security framework. So formulate responsive, resilient maritime security framework. So they can pick 3 to 4 statement from here and consider. They can ask consider which of the following statement is focus area under the Mahasagar initiative of India. So if you just read it, so you are able to eliminate it and give it answer. Okay. So let's see a few initiative that is being started by the India to ensure good, multilateral or engagement with Indian Ocean region. So first one is about the Indian Ocean Rim Association. It is called IORA. So 23-member regional grouping on economy, safety and environment. Please do some homework and study about IORA. Who are member of IORA? Who are not member of IORA? Indian Ocean Rim Association. So next is Indian Ocean Naval Symposium. Already UPSC asked this question. So it's a naval cooperation among the littoral state, started in 2008. So please do some homework on that. So when it is started, what are the objectives? So where recently summit is held? So all these things we have to study. So Indo-Pacific Ocean Initiative, open initiative for maritime management and security. So next one is about the Quad, cover maritime security, HADR, that is humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, connectivity, tech, supply chain. So BIMSTEC, so India lead security pillar. So that basically focus on the counter-terrorism, disaster management and energy. So Indian Ocean Commission work on the economy, environment and maritime security. India is an observer. So Indian Ocean Commission, India is an observer status. So challenges, what are the challenges that India is facing in the Indian Ocean region? Definitely it's a vast ocean and there are a lot of power they are interested in Indian Ocean. So we are facing a lot of challenges. So first one is about the geopolitical. China port infrastructure present. So that is what creating tension. For example, China is building series of ports starting from Chittagong, then Hambantota, then in Maldives. So it is creating challenges. So we are going to see all these things, maritime security. So for example, piracy, terrorism, IU, illegal, unreported, illegal, unregulated fishing. So that is what creating trouble for fishing industry also, and they are overfishing, create a depletion of the fishing, trafficking, smuggling. So infrastructure gap, so limited capacity in partner, for example Sri Lanka, Maldives, Mauritius. So they lack proper infrastructure like port connectivity, surveillance, you can say coast guard surveillance ships or aircraft. So that is what led to all these challenges. So what are the way forward? So how India overcome all these things? So we can have comprehensive plan covering 35 literal states with focusing on the security, infrastructure, climate. So we can, form an organization, collectively have summit to understand what are the concern of them, and we need to help them to build that. Okay. So better execution, so interministerial task force for coordination. So whenever India promise something, we need to ensure that it should be executed in a timely manner, so that all this country will have trust on India. So next is unified strategy. So integrate Indian Ocean region and Indo-Pacific, leverage Quad, IORA, and ASEAN. So we can unify all the objective to have a unified strategy of what we want to achieve through this, Indian Ocean initiative. So next is Green Mahasagar. So we can make entire initiative environmental friendly through green initiative. Okay. Then maritime strength, use of AI satellite in maritime awareness, stronger navy under Atmanirbhar. So once we have cooperation, we can strengthen our navy, we can strengthen our operational capability to prevent piracy, to prevent terrorism, all these things in Indian Ocean region. Cultural diplomacy, yes, India is having a lot of cultural connect with all these littoral states, so we can leverage that to expand our cultural center and heritage outreach to boost our soft power. Okay. So if you look into the string of pearls that is being followed by China to encircle India, you can see Chittagong port. So this port is very important. Please map it. Then it is China. So it is Sri Lanka, that is Hambantota port. Next is Maldives, it is Marao. The next is Gwadar Fort. Next is Djibouti port. So you can see literally they are trying to encircle India. Now they are having a cooperation in the China, Pakistan, Afghanistan now here. So they are literally trying to encircle India. So this is what called string of pearls strategy. So if you look into few islands of Indian Ocean region, you will find this is Mauritius. Okay, this is Seychelles, Diego Garcia. This is having the UK and USA naval base. Okay, so Marao Atoll, just have a look. This is the port that is being controlled by China. Hambantota port is also controlled by China. Colombo, India is controlling. Then Situe port, Chittagong port. Okay, so it is Gwadar fort. Gwadar fort is developed by China in Pakistan, but Chawar fort is developed by India. It is located in Iran. So this is called Strait of Hormuz. Very important, 50% of oil flow through its Gulf of Hormuz. So this is called Bab el Mandeb. Okay, it's Gulf of Aden. And this region is called as Strait of Malacca. This region is called Strait of Malacca. It's a choking point. So it is having Indian Navy is controlling here a lot of area. Okay. So hope please go through this map. So and try to map all this location. They are very important because UPSC is asking. Okay. Yes. So, dear student, this is all about second class of international relations. So, dear student, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to my channel, and please do share this video with a friend so that more number of students can benefit. And please do write your feedback in the comment box. That is going to helpful for me to making future classes on international relation and all other current affair. So, dear student, we have to end here. Chaliye, bye bye. Take care.